I wanted to talk to you a little bit about adding music to your video. So your music needs to match the mood of the video. So when you think about the music for the video, think about what's the message of this video? Is it upbeat? Is it empowering? Is it sad, somber? You want music that matches that thought. So you're going to have to try to find something where when you listen, you're like, oh yeah, that matches that thought. Oh yeah, that fits. You don't want something kind of opposite. Like you don't want somebody serious and then some kind of clown music in the background. Okay, so just make sure the music matches. Um, you must, it needs to support, not distract your message. So make sure too, the volume is not too high for the voice. And then in addition, the lyrics, well, usually there should not be lyrics if somebody's talking because then you have two voices you're listening to. So if you do have music with lyrics, it needs to be a shortcut in between some talking. So keep that in mind. And then placement, well, I kind of said that already. If you have the lyrics, they need to be placed appropriately so that there's no two voices at once. Where does it come from is another question. You need to make sure that you get royalty-free music. So it needs to be music that you can use. YouTube Audio Library, that's all I searched. YouTube Audio Library is a nice free place that YouTube itself provides you music that you can use in your videos. And it looks like they don't have much, but then you keep scrolling and it's kind of like Pinterest, Facebook, everything nowadays where you just never get to the bottom. Drives me crazy. Anyway, but you can just listen by sampling. Most of these are instrumental. And then if you like it, you can easily download. You don't have to check and make sure YouTube is going to give you a virus because you know it's a safe site. And you don't have to check for music rights because download free music for your project. They're offering it to you for free, which is cool. You can check its copyright policies, but they told us that we can use it for our YouTube videos. So you don't have to prove where you got it from. It's perfect. So let me just show you. I'll download Lost World. Okay, it's pulling it up here. I don't want it here. Okay, well that stopped it from playing. Oh, okay, there we go. Now I can pause. So where did it download to is my question. Well, I'm going to have to look for the Lost World. So, Lost World. Make sure you download it to a place and you know where you downloaded it to. Okay, I like to hit show all here so it can show me where it is. Show in Finder. It went to my downloads folder. Should have thought to check there. Anyway, you will then drag it into your AVP stuff folder, into your first 6 weeks, and into your project folder with that name. I'm pretending like I did that. Then you'll import from your AVP stuff folder the project name. Just to be quick with the sample here. From here, you can drag it onto the second layer of audio. And as you can see, it's not long enough, so it's going to take a little bit of editing. So let's go ahead and, oops, let me pull this down. I'm just positioning my window so I can work here. Of course, I'll need to trim Mr. Sarpy's video down. You should already have the A-roll trimmed by the time you're bringing in music. Everything should be ready. Okay, let me just go ahead and, yep, here's the front of it. So this music, way too dramatic for his message, would not be used, but it's my example. So before I even bring this audio in, I should check his audio levels. This is how you check the levels. And if I mute this, I can see
around this time when
his levels are getting too hot. This is another thing you should do as soon as you bring the A-roll in. Before you start trimming it, check the levels of your original source. Make sure they're not too hot. I just brought it down a little by moving that middle button. That's the audio gain.
Begin school, we always think
now it's perfect. If you need to make bigger adjustments than that, right-click, audio gain and set how many decibels you want it to go up, or put a negative in front of it for decibels going down. Now I have the music fading in. Oh, but I can't hear it because I hit mute. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. This is a mute button. So if you don't want to hear something, you can just mute it. And now I'm checking. I'm looking at the audio levels.
Around this time,
Okay. It suddenly got hot when they're both going. So let me mute him and see how my audio levels are. Okay. They're still too hot. So I definitely need to bring this music down, but I don't want it competing with him. So in addition to that, I need to check his levels by themselves. So I'm going to mute this.
around this time,
They're hitting around -3, which is where your levels should normally hit. So your music has to be 10 decibels lower than him. So I'm going to go ahead and move it down 10 decibels. And, oh, it's muted.
Around this time when we begin school, we always think back to beginning.
Okay, so a few things. One, you may want the music to be louder before he starts. So for that, you can adjust in effects controls the volume setting like we've done in other areas. But here's what I like to do. I like to just adjust in this panel down here. You can make a keyframe right here for the music, and you can make a keyframe right here. And then you can make another keyframe and say you want it to come louder at this point. You're pulling it up. Make another keyframe. Okay. And now it starts louder, fades down for him.
We always think back to
Does it still sound a little loud for him? Yes, it does. So I'm going to still pull it down. Trust your ears as well as the levels. Usually it may be more than 10 that you need to adjust.
folks in the community and parents. I know you can think
But you don't want too low because then people are like, is there music there? That's kind of distracting.
back to the beginnings of school for you as well. And while there's so many things that we consider, our clothes and books and getting ready to start the school year, one of the things we really want us to think about is goal setting.
Okay. So another thing I had showed you, you can adjust. Okay, I'll tell you that later.
I know that our teachers,
So at the end, I don't have enough music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crossfade. So I shortened the music and now I'm dragging it down. And at the end, I just need to time it out to where the end ends up in the right spot. Oops, I just brought the music up way loud. Okay, dragging it over here and zooming in and okay. So I want this level to match this level, so I need to figure out where the music levels are. So I'm just going to match those. That was
see
1827.
yourself.
Is this 1827? No, that's 17. 1882, 1714. Just going to move this to... People can usually hear a 3 decibel change. So if it's within the decibel, they may not hear it.
Your life, can you move forward? I know that our teachers, our administrators, and our staff,
Okay. There may have been a double beat there. I tend to like to edit my audio in Adobe Audition. So I'm wondering what we can do as far as crossfades. There's an effects menu right here. You can do an audio transitions and crossfade. And then you can drag one of these on here, drag it over the overlap, and then let them fade into each other.
9 to 10 months. What area in your life can you move forward? I know that our teachers,
I don't like that double beat. So I'm just going to move this a little out. And then I'll go there. Okay. Now let's try it again. Crossfade.
You're working late.
in the passing of these 9 to 10 months, what area in your life can you move forward? I know that our teachers